Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Even before starting my speech, I'll start with a surprise. I was really moved by the investees at the back, especially the group from Arusha, that insisted we can use the air that we have for fertilizer. I was like, okay, Blandina, wake up. You've arrived. Really, a big round of applause to all of them today. I'm really deeply honored to stand here before you today as you celebrate a truly remarkable milestone in Tanzania in the innovation journey, whereby we are unveiling not only the fourth, but it's the fourth cohort of the FUNGUO investees. This event marks yet another step forward in nurturing creativity, entrepreneurship, and inclusive economic growth in our nation. Secondly, I bring you warm and sincere greetings from Honorable Professor Kitila Mkumbo, our Minister of State, President's Office, Planning and Investment. As you all know what season this is. It is the election season, so unfortunately, he was not able to join us, but he sends his warm regards and he's wishing you all the best. Similarly, I also convey greetings from Dr. Tau Sikida, who is the Permanent Secretary, President's Office, Planning and Investment, and also the co-chair. I had the Begin at some point here, the Begin project, and she is in that steering committee which is supporting FUNGUO project in collaboration with UAE, together with UNDP and other partners. Dr. Kida continues to provide strategic leadership in the implementation of various government-led programs aimed at improving Tanzania's businesses and investment environment. And this part I have to quote. She had a message for you. Please allow me to quote it. The government remains firmly committed to fostering innovation, empowering startups, and ensuring that our policies and reforms create a fertile ground for investors, entrepreneurs, and innovators to thrive, ultimately contributing to the sustainable development of our nation. End of quote. She really sends her regards and she's sorry she could not join this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, this is more than just an event. It is clear that Tanzania is serious about building an economy driven by innovation, as we've just heard from the panel that was ably moderated by Joseph. FUNGUO is a program that has truly understood the meaning of partnership, as evidenced in this room. Let me take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to our development partners, the European Union, the United Kingdom, and the government of Finland for believing in Tanzania's innovation potential and co-funding this transformative initiative. Your commitment goes beyond funding. It demonstrates confidence in our youth, our entrepreneurship, and our collective vision for prosperous Tanzania. We thank you. I also want to commend UNDP Tanzania for the outstanding work in implementing the FUNGUO Innovation Program. To the entire FUNGUO team, you have shown what is possible when we move beyond just providing money to truly supporting entrepreneurs with the right mix of finance, mentorship, and ecosystem strengthening. Really a big applause to you, UNDP. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to learn that since its inception, as Joseph took us through, FUNGUO has reached over 2,700 startups, micro, small, and medium enterprises, and committed over 6.5 billion shillings, as we saw today, to 74 ventures. But what makes these numbers even more impressive is where these innovations are focused. Close to 60%, as we saw today, are in the green or climate smart businesses, directly addressing one of the most pressing global challenges, which is we have quite a number of startups in agribusiness, which is critical for our agriculture transformation. I have also noted the role of technology, having learned that close to 70%, again this was shared, are either tech or tech-enabled businesses, positioning Tanzania firmly in the digital economy. But what's more impressive, I think not just to me, but to most of us, from the data that was presented, is that proof that catalytic funding, I should give a round of applause to her. She made us say this word, okay? Can we all say this? Yeah? Okay, catalytic funding? Catalytic funding? That's better. Catalytic funding? So yes, really impressive, and UNDP and FUNGUO, you've really done that well. We've heard and we have seen that over 65% of the startups from the first 3 cohorts have unlocked additional capital, amounting to the amount that exceeds 4 times the catalytic funding that was provided by FUNGUO. Really, this is impressive. This means that for every shilling FUNGUO invested, this startup attracted 4 more shillings from other investors. We're really happy to hear that. This is the multiplier effect that smart public investment should achieve. Government and development partners provide the initial push, and the private sector follows with even larger investment. This is exactly the kind of partnership between public and private sector that DIRA 2050 calls for. About 77% of our population is under the age of 35. This is not a challenge, as we've heard from the previous panel, but rather it is the greatest opportunity. But we must ask ourselves, what kind of economy are we building for this young generation? The old model where the young people wait for government or corporate jobs is no longer sustainable. We need a new model. And in this room, we've seen a glimpse of it. One where our youth become job creators, not just job seekers. This is where innovation and entrepreneurship become critical pathway to employment and economic transformation. The 10,000 jobs, that's the number that popped up here today, created by FUNGUO startups, and the 1,000 more that will be created as these businesses continue to scale, represents exactly the kind of youth employment strategy we need. These are not temporary jobs or handouts. These are sustainable opportunities in growing businesses that are solving real problems and generating real value. Earlier this year, as you may be aware, Her Excellency, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, launched the Tanzania Development Vision, in short, DIRA 2050, our roadmap to becoming a high middle-income nation with a $1 trillion economy by 2050. This is not just an ambitious target. It is an achievable goal if we make the right strategic choices today. And one of those strategic choices is investing in innovation and entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, DIRA 2050 is clear on this matter. It calls for knowledge-driven economy powered by innovation, inclusion, and sustainability. It envisions social sector employment exceeding 50% of our workforce, digital literacy reaching 70% of citizens, and Tanzania positioning itself amongst Africa's most competitive economy. But these targets will not be achieved by doing business as usual. We need to fundamentally transform how we approach economic development. We need to, first of all, move from a factor-driven economy to a productivity and innovation-led economy. Secondly, we need to transition from predominantly informal to being a more formalized, industrialized nation, and I think the presentation by Materu gave a recommendation around that, the Deloitte presentation. Third, we need to shift from dependency to self-reliance through homegrown solutions. The startups we are celebrating today, the 60% working on green and climate smart solution, and the 40% transforming our agriculture, the 70% leveraging technology, these are the engines that will drive this transformation. They are developing solutions that directly contribute to our national development goals and sustainable development goals. Ladies and gentlemen, when FUNGUO supported startups expand to international markets, they are not just creating jobs, they are earning foreign exchange, building Tanzania's brand, and providing that our innovations can compete globally. This is the export-oriented competitive economy that the DIRA 2050 demands. As the President's Office, responsible for planning and investment, allow me to reaffirm where the government stands on innovation and entrepreneurship. We recognize that while the government cannot create every job or resolve every challenge directly, its foremost responsibility is to cultivate an enabling environment in which innovators, entrepreneurs, and investors can thrive. That is our enduring commitment. We are working to, firstly, align our policies with DIRA 2050. The panel asked us to do that, to ensure that the innovation and entrepreneurship are prioritized in our national planning framework. Secondly, improve the ease of doing business. Again, the panel called us to do this, and the presentation that was made by Deloitte, so that starting and scaling a business in Tanzania becomes simpler, faster, and less expensive. The new crowdfunding guidelines are one example, and we need more of such enabling policies. Thirdly, strengthening partnership between government, private sector, development partners, and programs like FUNGUO to ensure we are all working towards the same goal. Fourthly, ensuring that innovation supported today can access markets both locally and through government procurement, and regionally through our participation in the East African Community and other regional trade agreements, is paramount. We will continue to support initiatives like FUNGUO that are filling critical gaps in innovation system. The missing middle that FUNGUO addresses is real. Many of our startups have great ideas and early traction, but struggle to access the right type of capital and support to scale. FUNGUO is bridging that gap, and government stands ready to partner in expanding this kind of support. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look ahead to preparation of the second blueprint regulatory reforms and investment climate, Mkombi 2, Happy Kakabaraka is here with us. In line with our next 5-year development plan, I want to extend a direct invitation to our young innovators and startup founders. Get involved. Baraka is here. Please get involved with him. If you have issues that you believe need to be taken care, please. You can start up with Baraka, but then we have people from COSTECH and others from the government. Please get involved because it does affect you. Your voices, your experience, and your insights are essential in shaping policies and regulatory frameworks that actually work on the ground. We need your input to build a future where entrepreneurship thrives, not by chance, but by design. Let us work together to ensure that Mkombi 2 reflects the realities and ambitions of Tanzania's innovation community. Ladies and gentlemen, to the new cohort of FUNGUO, investees being unveiled today, hongereni sana. Narudia tena, hongereni sana. You join a portfolio that is already proving what Tanzanian innovation can achieve. You have been selected because your solution shows promise. But selection is just the beginning. Now comes the hard work of execution, of growing your startup to create jobs and impact lives. Do not be afraid to fail, but when you do, fail fast, learn quickly, and adapt. Tanzania needs your solution to work. Your success is our collective success. To our development partners and private sector, the evidence is clear. Catalytic funding, the 4 times multiplier effect, the 10,000 jobs created, these are the returns that go beyond any financial calculation. We call upon you to continue supporting such initiatives that strengthen our innovation ecosystem and to invest directly in promising ventures emerging from programs like FUNGUO, because we understand the depth really, really matters. To fellow government officials and institutions, let us embrace innovation in how we deliver public service and engage with citizens and investees and innovators. The startups we celebrate today are showing us new ways of solving old problems. We must be willing to partner with them, procure from them, and create space for their solutions in our development goals. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're not just unveiling a new cohort of investees. We are opening a new chapter in Tanzania's economic journey, one defined by innovation, entrepreneurship, and opportunity. The achievements shared today, thousands of applicants, dozens of investees, thousands of jobs created, and remarkable capital growth are clear evidence that when we invest in our innovators and strengthen our ecosystem, Tanzania delivers extraordinary results. On behalf of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, I reaffirm our continued partnership with the European Union, with the United Kingdom, the government of Finland, UNDP, and all ecosystem actors in advancing innovation and entrepreneurship through initiatives like FUNGUO. Together, we will drive Tanzania towards a $1 trillion economy, create meaningful jobs for our youth, and realize DIRA 2050, a future of prosperity and dignity for all. Catalytic funding. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza.